The tech content team here at Cloud Imperium Games, or sometimes called Tech Art, as it would be called in most other studios, is an amalgamation of two different groups. One of the groups is Tech Art, and the other group is Tech Animation. So we kind of put the two together into a singular tech content team. Now, today we're going to talk a little bit with Forrest, we're going to talk a little bit with Matt, and we're also going to talk with Vineet. And these guys are working on specific pipelines within tech content. So tech content is meant to serve as a support department for pretty much all the content creation pipelines. And to give you an idea, we've got about 5 really major content creation pipelines. One of them is characters, which Forrest and Vin will talk a little bit about. One of them is faces, which kind of goes in line with characters. The third one is ships. The fourth one is environments, and then finally is actual animation itself. So we're going to talk about 3 of the 5 big sort of pipelines that we support and we work on today, just to give you an idea of what a tech artist or even a tech animator does.
One of my favorite aspects of working on the ships is blowing them up. So it starts off as we break apart the ship into debris, then we add our effects, we add vectors and health, and the ultimate explosion at the end, the death mask as we call it. These are all the things that go into the damage system.
Character tech art is kind of the unsung heroes of the art department. Character tech art provides the bridge between design, graphics engineering, and the character artists themselves. So they allow kind of the magic that shows up on the screen that the players get to see, whether that's the customization of characters, the visual fidelity. While the character artists help push the visual fidelity, the tech artists help to ensure that it's going to run efficiently. And they'll work closely with the graphic engineers to make sure that that can happen. Whether that's profiling, managing the poly counts, managing the draw calls, they will ensure that the tech is in place and that it's user-friendly for the artists themselves. So when an artist uses a tool that an engineer creates, they're designing the tool to ensure that you can work as efficiently as possible and push the visual fidelity as much as possible.
I'm a technical animator. I'm currently working on head rigs, preparing head rigs for artists. The head rigs come from Filateral, which come pretty much in a raw format, and they're not ready for CryEngine or the artists. So my job is to prepare them so that both artists and also whenever working in an engine, they could be ready to be seen, ready to be animated, and to be worked on.
So there's a ton of work that go into the character heads. You have character artists that are in there touching up the textures, balancing all the values so it renders properly, the skin shaders rendering properly. But say there's a bug, say there's an issue with the eye, say there's an issue with the skin. You rely on the character tech artist to understand what is required from the actual art perspective, but to have enough technical knowledge to understand why it may be breaking, so they communicate that information to the graphics engineer to ensure the bug gets fixed. Somebody needs to compile the heads together. You have eyelashes, you have a mouth, you have a tongue, you have the head itself, you have the hair. Somebody needs to tie all these elements together and ensure that the technical animators, when the face is moving, all the aspects of the art that is actually being moved is moving properly and in place, because somebody has to say, this is where the eyes go, this is where the mouth goes, this is where the head goes, this is where the hair goes. When the mouth moves, the beard has to move. When the animation drives the eyes have to look right when they're looking from side to side, stuff like that.
There's a big thing that we're doing in 2.6. We have a new naked male that we brought online. This new naked male, he's slightly different, but we have to make sure all the clothing fits him correctly. We do a lot of overlap and culling and these sort of things, but because his arms are different than the old naked male, people might have noticed that the arms and the hands of the naked male are fairly low res. There's just not much to them right now. They look like mannequin hands. They don't look like people hands. So this new naked male looks awesome. The assets are fantastic. So we just want to make sure that that's applied throughout the entire game. So that means all the armor has to update in terms of positioning, all the clothing has to update, and we've got to reskin it all. So it's a lot of updating, but that's absolutely something we want to get in, is this nice new naked male.